the past few days have been kind of weighing on me in a certain like subconscious area. Outwardly I've been pretty okay, but for some reason there's just been a thought in the back of my mind about this album. Um, and yesterday, actually this morning, I was writing down in my journal about it, and I looked up when the album came out. It's Can't Rush Greatness by Central C, and for some reason it was stuck in my mind, and like this one song called Now We're Strangers and another one. And it's just been stuck they've been stuck in my mind like the past few days. And I looked up when it came out this morning, and it dropped January 24th, 2025. And I realized why I've been like feeling not weighted down, but kind of different subconsciously almost. And it's because last year on the 23rd, but basically 24th, me and Alina broke up. Me and my girlfriend broke up. And it's kind of weird because it's almost like that past date, it still has its weight on me. And that was like the first album I kind of listened to when we broke up, and it kind of helped me through it. And I know if you went to go listen to it, you'd be like, what? But it did. And I think him having that song about, breaking up with a person almost made me not comfortable, but, being able to relate to someone else. I hadn't felt that way before. I've only had one girlfriend, and it's been her. And I've never been broken up with and alone in a while. And so being able to listen to that and kind of have someone else make some music about it, because I love listening to music, was kind of comforting in a weird way. I was able to connect with it. So I re-listened to it today, and I wrote while I listened to it, and it's good, man. I'm glad that I can go back to that album and that point and say that we came out of it positively. We are back together now. That was there a big break? Yes. I don't know how to really tell people if they ask how long we've been together. She said she might tell people that it was 3 years and complicated. But, we've been together for a while, and, I'm happy that I can revisit it and not feel super bad about it. I feel like sometimes, there is music that you listen to in certain points of your life, and when you listen to it, you're kind of brought back to it. And that's how it was with here, but I don't know, I was kind of able to view it with a different perspective, but I just wrote how I felt, and it was good. It was good expressing those feelings, because sometimes, that subconscious part of you, it does weigh on you, and you need to let it out, especially on some paper. So it was good for me to write it down and everything. But yeah, yesterday, I don't know, I was at work, and one of my kind of bosses people, like, they annoyed me pretty bad. Like, it was like an hour and a half until my shift ended, and I called for help. And this is the only time, by the way, first and only time. And I was like working there for 3 hours before or something. So like, I'm one of the only people there, and this is the only time I call him. I'm like, yo, can you come help me with this? And the person was like, they said to me, Hunter, you've been working here long enough. You shouldn't need my help anymore. You have all the knowledge. And it felt like really passive aggressive to me. I know some people might view it now and be like, okay, well, she might have just been kidding, but I don't know. Sometimes if you're being passive aggressive like that, or even saying it as a joke, like, it still does affect me. You know what I mean? Like, you're not outwardly saying, oh, I'm just kidding. You're still saying, like, almost as if you don't even want to help me. And I don't know. It just felt really weird, and I'm not gonna lie, I got really annoyed for the rest of the night. And then as they were like helping me, they kept messing up on the thing I needed help with. And then they said, Hunter, this is all your fault. And obviously that was a joke too, but little things like that, like, And, I didn't say anything to them for the rest of the night. Like, I don't feel like I need to. I said sorry to them when I first called them. And when they leave, I said thank you. And that's all I need to say. It's kind of hard sometimes, especially when you're a little bit tired, to overcome some emotions like that. And I just feel like I needed to say that because it really did annoy me. It didn't make me feel any better. Like, I don't know what they expected when they said that to me, and it was just like, oh, Hunter, you shouldn't need my help. Like, super passive aggressive. I didn't like it. I didn't say that to them, but I did not appreciate it. Sorry for the little ramble, but I just need that. Sometimes working is okay. And other times, like, sometimes people you work with, I don't know. Yeah, I just got annoyed. And so that kind of feeling lingered into today. And man, it's annoying because I know, like, I don't want to feel like annoyed and kind of impatient and stuff. Like, kind of just felt almost like I was ready to get angry, and it's very difficult to get out of that sometimes, man. I'm not perfect. I come on here and I the right thing to do. I say the right thing that should be done, but everyone's human, man, and it's hard to always follow everything. Obviously I'm working every day to try and get better, but there's some days that just get annoying. And yeah, today was one of them. It was definitely weird, tapping into my feelings that I experienced a year ago and kind of my headspace then, writing about it, and also, the incident from the night before at work. Them two, I was just kind of getting annoyed, and I feel bad because I don't want to, I don't want to put my feelings onto other people, and I know sometimes it does. It's just hard. And bro, I think I need a haircut soon, even though I think I should wait until our grad pictures are in like February. But like, my hair is just, I don't know what's going on with it. I'm having a weird day today, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I went to the gym today. I always make sure to be successful in my day. I always do something I don't want to do, or do something that will always help me become better. I write every morning. That's like a must. That's already a win. I went to the gym. I did something I didn't want to do. I did that. Now I'm gonna have some food and study for my math final. Make sure to always do something that, is productive, that is success. You determine what success is in your life. If you think success is only this massive thing with lots of money, like, you got to realize that, like, there are little successes every single day, and you can view these little wins and these little challenges every day as successes, and it makes you feel successful. Going into my past and writing about it, I could have just left that weight kind of in my subconscious, but no, like, I took the initiative and I wrote about it. I kind of expressed how I felt, and that's a success right there. Like, make sure you are successful in your day, and you determine what that is. And you can have big successes and little successes, but don't view them as like they're not enough. Every success matters and is good. So always try to be successful. Hope you guys have a good day today. And also, my phone media thing, it's been going good. It's kind of like it's called a reduction. I'm not trying to look at all that stuff. And it's been good, actually. It's been helping me. See you guys tomorrow. And yeah, peace.